It's The Legend of Zelda, and it's...
I don't know how to feel about this one. I haven't played it. I've heard mixed things. Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask were really good, so... Like, it's fucking... Like, Alien Isolation is probably, like... I'd argue the best in terms of... Atmosphere. Yes.
Yeah.
Like...
I also think it's a really good one, too, for the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the best game related to the Aliens franchise.
Yes.
In my opinion, hands down.
I don't know very much about the Alien franchise. I mean, the first time I actually watched Alien was with you guys.
Uh-huh.
And I watched somebody do a playthrough of it.
Mm.
And, my god, no thank you.
Yeah.
The person you watched do a playthrough, though, was Soviet Womble, and that's, he's kind of he's dumb. I mean, I love Soviet, but god, he's...
But it was still hilarious.
I love the Soviets, too.
Soviet Womble is...
Oh, I did it!
You did it! High five!
No panic attack this time.
I did have a panic attack.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, you did.
And I had one.
It wasn't the funniest thing.
It wasn't the funniest thing, but...
I had one.
And I felt very guilty picking this game.
No, it's good.
No, it's good. It's absolutely fine. And here's the thing, I gotta go all the way back and there's still a chance to fuck up.
Is there a time limit?
There's not a time limit anymore
thank
because
God.
I collected them all. But if those ghosty dudes or if I touch the water...
then there's a chance that
yeah.
you can... Ugh,
And I don't...
that's worrisome.
God damn it.
But going back to Alien Isolation, I find it just to be a complete fucking freak accident. Because you know that Creative Assembly worked on it, right?
Yeah.
And they're a fucking real-time strategy company.
Yeah. I think it says something about that, though. Like, because there is a lot of strategy to deal with it, and I think that was Creative Assembly kind of going like, hey.
Well, they were branching out, and, like, I love it. I love it when a developer just
try something new.
tries something new out of their own
Comfort.
out of their, what was it? How do I put this? Willingly. It wasn't just, like, dropped into their lap.
Yeah. When they
Good
willingly
luck,
go like,
fucker.
hey, we'll try something new.
Yeah. Because once again, like, for example, Mass Effect Andromeda, that was a case of EA dropping Mass Effect into a developer's lap and saying, hey, do this. I know it's not your expertise or your field, but do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
And then Mass Effect Andromeda happened.
Who worked on it?
BioWare.
It was like a side set. It was a.
It wasn't the same people that did Dragon Age.
It wasn't BioWare. BioWare. It was like a
BioWare's
side
Australian.
company.
It was BioWare's Australian site. Their Australian site is like, they don't really do that. They do more.
I feel like if they got the Dragon Age team that did Inquisition, it would be a lot better.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting?
If it's their version of that.
Speaking of Dragon Age Inquisition, like, that game's just sort of disappeared after the year it came out. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've heard really great things, but after it came out, just sort of, it won Game of the Year at the Spike Awards.
You know why?
Huh.
Because BioWare had a fucking panic attack about it. Because they did the same thing where they had a crunch, and the same developer who did Anthem, who ended up making it so Anthem actually released on time, had to fix Inquisition for them. They didn't finish the story.
That they didn't, and the only way that you can get the finished story is if you get the DLC.
Which I had and Dominique hadn't. So Dominique finished the game before I did, but she didn't get the full story. I had the full DLC and everything, so I got the full story, the full game, and I love it. And she's just like, God, the ending sucks. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's so good. And then she tells me, like, what are you talking about? Like, it just
the
fucking
end
ends.
boss is horrible. Like, they build up this guy to be super hard. You beat him so fucking fast, and the last thing you do is say goodnight to all your friends and go to sleep. That's it.
And then, like,
That
then the
be-
DLC is literally a DLC epilogue.
Huh.
And the epilogue, it takes place 2 years after the events.
Hey, look, it's
And there's
ball sack.
closure.
Yeah.
You talk to all your friends, and they go, like, yeah, I went on and became this, and I went on and did this, and I went on and did this. And you get to talk to them and interact with them and have one last adventure, and then you figure out, holy shit! And my personal favorite character ends up being the new main villain for the next Dragon Age. And it's like, holy shit! Like, he was my... Like, I love that guy, and I actually based Arlane off of him. So, and now he's going to be the main villain for the next Dragon Age. And I'm like, holy shit, that's so cool! And now it's like,
I can
okay,
swim.
maybe there's not going to be another Dragon Age.
Okay, it was...
Well, bad controls, bad controls.
Alright, what's worse, this or Atlantica KH1?
Atlantica.
That's worse?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay. I don't know. I think the controls are fine there.
They're not the worst I've ever had, but
Oh,
I played
it's just
through
very-
Rayman
Oh my
2.
fucking...
I played through Rayman 2 on the N64. I love that fucking game, but God, the controls are terrible.
Well, that's going to...
I forgot
that's
I beat that game.
That's a good cover. I like how you have sonic bubbles, like, in
Right.
the water to give you air. But,
Hey, at least you can touch the water and not touch it with your pinky toe and go...
oh,
Sonic Boom.
what, was that in Sonic Boom also? Because I know that was a thing in Sonic Adventure 1.
If you touch it just a little bit, like knee-deep water, you just instantly drown.
And, like, the
Just the
noise
smallest little
that the
puddle.
voice actor uses is the same person, and they go...
But, like, that's a great cover for my nuclear take, which is one of my favorite games is Super Mario World. I don't like the underwater controls in Super Mario World.
I hate him.
I think that they're awful. I think that they make no sense.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Good. I'm glad we're on the same page here. But Mass Effect Andromeda was made by BioWare in Montreal.
Yeah.
Opposed to their Edmonton studio, which is their main.
Yeah, Edmonton is their main one. Edmonton also really dropped the fucking ball on Anthem.
Yeah, they're the ones who did Anthem.
Yeah, they dropped the fucking ball because they pretty much sat there. And the Austin office, the ones who worked on...
See you later, fucker!
Their Austin office is
I
the
wasn't
ones...
the only one that saw that.
Their Austin office is the ones that worked on their
Inquisition?
last online title, which was Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the MMO.
Oh, the Old Republic.
Yeah, and they worked on the MMO, and they said, "Hey,
Oh, the Old Republic.
they said I noticed that you're making this decision. We made a really
Would you
similar
like some
one.
help with that?
We made a really similar one when we first released
You sound like the paperclip.
what's it called? Knights of the Old Republic, the MMO. Would you guys like us to help you out? I mean,
Oh my God.
we can give you
What
guys
the
our
fuck?
fix
Thank you.
that we used for it."
Wait, is there a difference between Knights of the Old Republic MMO and the Old Republic MMO?
No,
Okay, so it is.
it is. But, so they're like, "Hey, we worked on Old Republic MMO. We noticed that your code is the exact same on your online function. It's a little bit buggy. We use the same one. Do you want us to give you guys our updated code? We patched the network and everything, so it works out really well." And they're like, "No, you guys are B team. We're A team.
We are the A-Team.
We are BioWare." Like, that's how they acted. And so
Which one of you guys is Mr. T?
the Austin studio was just like, "All right. Like, we just wanted to help make this game a success, but I mean, if you're gonna be like that,
You're
then
gonna be a little bitch.
I guess we won't offer our help." Because how do you react to to the head office pretty much telling you to pound sand when you offer to help out?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you do when corporate goes like, no, fuck you. Like, we're going to do this ourselves, and it's going to be badass. We're going to have blackjack and hookers. What do you do in that case?
If that's the case, then I just be like, all right, sweet. All right, sweet. I'm getting paid for sitting on my ass.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, at the same time, like...
It's hurtful.
It's hurtful, and it's not just that, but, like, BioWare, like, a lot of employees, myself included, if I'm just sitting on my ass and doing nothing, I'm like, why the fuck am I here? And that's why a lot of people left when Anthem was being developed, is because they're like, why am I here?
Well, actually, I was going to talk about a subject that the three of us have a big disagree with, and that is BioShock Infinite, where...
I really like BioShock Infinite.
I know, and I hate it to death. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up was because it had a very similar situation to it.
I will agree with you there. I think that it does feel rushed close to the end.
I'd say because like here's my statement. I'd say Chapter 1 of BioShock is borderline perfect.
Yes.
Like, and extensively, it is one of the best intros to a game I've ever played. Okay. If not the best.
In BioShock Infinite?
Yes.
Yes.
It's one of
I completely agree. It sets the tone, and I'd almost say it gives me... It's what makes me forgive a lot of the sins of the second half of the game.
Well, for me, it's like... For me, it just overhypes me for the rest.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Is I get so hyped that I overlook more of the second half.
Meanwhile, my expectations are raised.
I think the part that started solidifying for me, like, I don't think this game is. I love BioShock Infinite still, but the part that the second I hit this part in the story, I go, this is stupid. I'm done. Like, that I say, I'm bored. Not bored, but I'm frustrated.
Disinterested?
And I'm getting disinterested, and I'm just starting to just think, like, I'm done with this. Especially on second playthroughs. Is when you have to fight Elizabeth's mom's ghost.
Yeah.
I hate that fight. So fucking much.
I like the idea, but I hate the fight.
I hate the fight.
It goes on forever.
It goes on forever, and it's like, why am I still fucking shooting at this bitch? I used all of my ammunition, and I was fully stocked when I got into this fight. And I am by no stretch of the word underpowered. I have every upgrade unlocked. This is my second playthrough. I am playing on the normal difficulty. The fact that I am having fucking trouble, and I am run out of ammo 3 times now fighting this bitch, and I cannot
tell you how many times I fucking died to her.
And I am not inaccurate. I am a very accurate shooter, because, let's put it this way, I used to do that shit daily, all the fucking time. The fact that I was running out of fucking ammo and she was only at half health.
You got approached, didn't you, for like Battlefield?
For Battlefield, yeah, for Battlefield 4.
Oh, 4.
And I'm like, the fact that I'm fucking having problems with this bitch is frustrating. Because it's like, I'm using my plasmids the way I'm supposed to be using them. This combo has worked on every other fucking boss.
Yeah. Was it Ravens?
Ravens. This combo works really fucking well. I know that this should be working on her. The fact that that she's kicking my ass is absurd.
No.
And it's an unfair difficulty spike that if you're not prepared for, if it's your first playthrough and you smack into that wall...
I will agree with that. I'm not as harsh with it as you are. I will admit it's a bad boss. But I don't mind it that much.
It's single-handedly the most frustrating first-person shooter boss I have ever encountered in my life.
Oh.
That is the worst fucking boss I've ever dealt with, other than in Quake 4. The last boss in Quake 4 is fucking absurd. But
okay, because I was going to argue that the most frustrating... are we talking about in terms of like
of first-person shooter bosses.
oh yeah, but my question is like, would I also include boss fights that are just stupid / too fucking easy?
No,
In that,
no.
Okay,
It's just in terms of like of difficulty
power
curves,
and difficulty. Okay.
of difficulty curves, where it's like the rest of that game
Mhm.
is really fun, enjoyable, and I'm like I don't feel like I'm having like I feel really nice. I feel like I have the nice balance of this is difficult, but if I know what I'm doing and it's fast paced enough, and I'm really fast paced and I know when to duck behind cover
Okay.
and everything, then I can succeed every time. But the fact that there's nowhere to fucking hide and all you're doing is running, and the the verticality that you've been having up to that point, where you're running up and jumping on the rail grinds and shooting on the rail grinds and moving around real quick. That shit was fucking amazing, and it was the best part about Bioshock Infinite. The fact that for an entire boss fight, you're on a fucking even, flat ground, getting fucking hit from all sides. You can't run, you can't hide, and she's like fucking invincible, is just fucking pissing me off. I hate that boss. I'm sorry. I know I've been ranting for a while now, but
Okay. I
it's
was
the worst boss in that fucking franchise.
okay. I'll tell you what's the most frustrating first-person shooter boss I ever ran into. It's Tartarus in Halo 2.
Really?
I do not care for him at all.
I don't know. I always found him to be... He's boring. Is the best way I can put it.
I do find him boring, but I also found him frustrating.
I do think that they're... He's the one who has the big fucking gravity hammer.
The big fuck you gravity.
Yeah, I hate him because it's like... You... Yeah, like, the fact that I'm... I don't know. My coloration of that is different.
It's been a while. I'm not going to blame
It's been
you
a long
if you...
time. What does he look like again?
Let me pull him up.
I'm trying to remember his boss fight. All I can think of is the Halo
There
3
he
boss
is.
fight. Oh no, I was right. That is the boss fight I was thinking of. The fact that he just jumps around and he's really predictable.
I'd say it depends on the
Look at his arms.
difficulty.
Look at his arms, because even in Veteran, he has this animation where he'll move his right arm up like this every time he's about to do a jump attack, which is his most annoying fucking attack.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that he moves that up as he's about to do that, you just fucking run backwards. And then you run off to the right or left, and he'll miss you every time. So it's like, he's chump shit at that point. You just unload into him, and then eventually he'll fucking die. He's not too bad, because at least the thing that I hate most in an FPS is the thing that I find unfair and bullshit, and I call bullshit on developers and say you did not think this through. And I think most people will agree with me, is if you're sitting there and you're getting shot at from every fucking direction, and you're like, okay, I run away.
Yeah.
And then when you try to run away, you still get shot from every direction. You're like, okay, I hide. And then you hide behind cover. Then you get shot from while you're behind cover.
That's the worst!
Yeah, exactly! That's what I'm saying! And that's what the fucking boss fight
And you know
in
what?
Bioshock Infinite is.
And you know what? I'm going. That's one of my criticisms for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes!
Is that some of the cover in that
doesn't
game
work.
just doesn't work flat out.
And it's not as bad. The worst offender I've seen for that, and it's actually posited as a feature, and I hate it because it's so much cheese, but I love it at the same time. And I love this game, is Rainbow Six Siege 2, when you get shot through a fucking wall by a bitch. I fucking hate it.
Wait,
and
Siege 2?
Yeah. No, Rainbow Six Siege 1, sorry.
I heard
It's Rainbow Six Siege.
I heard 2, and I'm like, there's another one already?
I think I did
My
say
only
2.
weakness.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said I
How did we do it again?
you slash to the right. Yeah, like
Use
that.
the
Cool.
force, Luke.
So like, I'm sitting there and like I'll be playing one of my mains, and I'll just get fucking slashed in the. I'll just get fucking shot through a fucking wall that I haven't fucking put a barricade on,
Mhm.
and it's just like, God fucking damn it, fuck you. And 9 times out of 10, if I'm on defense, it's by a fucking Ash. I hate Ash so much.